What's the deal? This is the Antisocial Raider. If you are a Raider fan or if you just love talking football, then hit that subscribe button. Today, we talking about a couple of NFL prospects, man. Today, I got three different prospects that I think the Las Vegas Raiders just might consider taking on day 3 of the 2026 NFL draft, man. But before we get started, if you like the content, then go ahead and like the content, man. And if you got something you want to get off your chest, then drop a comment. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what you think, man. But let's go. First up, we got Barry and Brown, wide receiver out of LSU, standing at 5 foot 11 inches, weighing 180 pounds. At the NFL Combine, he ran a 4.440. Barry and Brown, when I first started watching him, he was at Kentucky. This was probably a year or 2 years ago. Wide receiver slash return specialist. If I were to describe his game, it would be a true number two that can take the top off. His speed is different. He has acceleration. He has different gears that he can tap into that it could be deceiving at times. When he's running his route, and he is a good route runner. He can run his route sort of at a fast pace, but then when he's coming out of his break, he could just explode it and really create separation. So he really has burst and explosion, right? Good route runner, like I said. He understands leverage, he understands angles, and just going in and out of his breaks, man, is smooth. Very smooth, right? Great hands, great play strength. Somebody like when you normally see a person his size, right? 5'11, under 190, you start to think like, he's kind of small, but Barry Brown plays big. If you've seen him play, if you haven't yet, I advise that you check him out. He plays big, he plays strong, he has great play strength. And at the end of the day, especially for a receiver, it doesn't really matter how big you are. The only thing that matters is if you can catch the ball, and then if you have great play strength to break tackles and do all that. Now, alignment wise, right? Like I said, he's a true number two, right? He can play the X, but he's best as sort of like that Robin to Batman. He can play in the slot most definitely. He has that versatility where he could run any route depending on whether it's on the outside or on the inside, but he can also run jet sweeps, right? He has extreme versatility. Um, he can attack every part of the field, short, intermediate, deep, outside, inside, right? Like that goes into me saying, he plays big. Not everybody his size can attack the middle of the field the way that he attacks the middle of the field. He can literally attack and be efficient, be effective every single part of the field. It don't matter. A lot of teams when a person has speed like that, you have to play off a little bit, because you don't want to get beat deep. So you're willing to give up the stops. You're willing to give up, the digs and or shorter routes, right? And that's an element that the Raiders don't have right now. They have Trey Tucker, but it's a different kind of speed, man. I say it a lot, but Barry Brown, he has burst, he has explosion. He's that type. He has that type of speed, right? Barry Brown is the most underrated wide receiver in this draft class, and there's no question about it. People might not agree with me now, but time will tell. Time will prove that this dude's the truth, man. And I just hope that he lands on the Raiders, man. So to start it off, man, day 3, Barry Brown, man, great pick. It don't matter if it's in the 4th round, man. That'll be a great pickup. Moving on to number 2, I got Lorenzo Styles Jr. That's initially I thought it was the younger brother, but it happens to be the older brother of Sonny Styles, man. Standing at 6'1", weighing 194 pounds, and he ran a 40-yard dash in sub 4.3. This dude got burners, man. He runs fast. Like I said, 6'1", 194. He he was recruited to Notre Dame as a wide receiver. I believe he was there for maybe 2, 3 years or so, and then went to Ohio State. I believe that's when he made the switch to defense. Now he plays strong safety, but he can play nickel. Like I say all the time, strong safety and nickel are like the same thing, right? So if you're a strong safety and you can cover, then you can play nickel. So they had him at both strong safety, nickel. To be honest, the first time that I see him live, and I was tripping. I'm like, wait, the dude has a brother on the same team. He was actually playing corner, outside corner, right? And he made a play that play too. He's big, man. He runs fast. I think he's an elite run defender, right? Good cover skills, great instincts, has play recognition. Okay, so I wrote down he has play recognition, but he needs to trust his instincts. When I put on the tape, right, you can tell that he sees it. You can tell that he's anticipating something, but he's not like sure, so he waits. And then when the play progresses a little bit more, then he knows, okay, boom, now I can make the play. If you're a player that has instincts, that has anticipation, you have to be able to trust your instincts, man. There's no point of having the ability to anticipate and then not acting on it. You know what I mean? There's no like, but you could tell that it's there. He just needs to, like I said, he was recruited as a wide receiver, so he's still learning the position. But when you watch him play, you can tell that it's natural, right? Playing defense, playing fast without having to think as much. Not even having to think, because everybody has to think when you play football. Not having to be on time, right? That's the difference between the offense and the defense. The offense, everything is rhythm, right? Everything is timing. On defense, everything is about playing fast, playing hard, playing physical. Um, like I said, wide receiver. What as a former wide receiver, and it's different. Playing wide receiver in high school, and then not playing wide receiver in college, but playing defense. It's a little bit different because as you go up levels, right? From Pop Warner, you go to high school. From high school, you go to college. From college, you go professional. Every level you go up, the mental aspect of the game gets harder, right? So when you play wide receiver at the college level, there's a greater knowledge of that side of the ball rather than just playing in high school. You know what I mean? So the fact that he played wide receiver in college, that gives him that gives him an upper hand when it comes to play recognition, right? When it comes to processing, right? Like I said in the last video, playing strong safety and being able to see everything, that helps you so much with your processing, right? But if you don't know what you're looking at, then it's sort of irrelevant, right? But for him, like I said, he used to play wide receiver. So he's very familiar with that side of the ball. He's very familiar with, why offense motions. Why are they doing this motion? Okay, well, this is what they're trying to do. Why are they bringing him in closer to the line? Okay, well, this is what they're trying to do, right? Like he's very familiar with these things. So as a defensive player, he can use that to his advantage, right? And then having instincts, all of that comes together and makes a very, very good product. Being knowledgeable on the other side of the ball from which you play, it's priceless, bro. So he has that in the back pocket. He just has to trust his instincts more, man. Great play recognition. He plays downhill. You can tell that it's natural, right? When he's playing a two deep set and it's a run play, being able to play downhill is very important as a strong safety. Linebackers, they're already close to the line of scrimmage, so they play more side to side, right? Sideline to sideline. It's like a brick wall, right? They're creating this brick wall you cannot pass. For a strong safety or a safety period, In order to play the run, you can't build a wall because you're too far, right? You're giving up. That would be giving up too much yards. You're more like a missile. You have to play downhill. You have to play downhill fast, and he does that. And it seems like he was meant to play strong safety and not wide receiver because it just fits so natural, man. Lorenzo Styles Jr., the older brother of Sonny Styles, man. 6'1", 194, man. This dude, and he runs a sub 4 340, bro. It's crazy. Hits hard, very physical. I like this pick, man. Nobody's talking about him, but I think that, man, day three, he's a little older, but, if you can get him in a day three, oh, and he returns. You know what I mean? So on punt returns, you don't even have to switch anybody out to bring in an offensive player. You can just put him back there. You know what I mean? Then you good. Last but not least, man, we got Michael Taft. Now, I know that, one of my mock drafts, I had taken him. I'm a big fan of Michael Taft. I liked him last year when he was supposed to declare. But Michael Taft, man, free safety out of Texas, standing at 6 feet tall, weighing 190 pounds. He's a prototypical free safety. You know, prototypical free safety. I think that what makes him worth drafting, first of all, people are overlooking him. I think the draft is something that's like it's like a popularity contest, right? It's a bunch of hype with a little bit of real evaluation sprinkled in. You know what I mean? Michael Tapp is somebody that's being overlooked, and I'm happy about it, but I'm also sad for him because everybody wants to get drafted high, but hopefully we can snag him up in day three. Um, Alignment wise, he played, of course, free safety. So if it's single high, he's the only one back there. Now, in those situations, I seen good awareness, I seen good anticipation, I seen ball skills, right? Whether it's PBUs or interceptions, he attacks the ball. He attacks at the catch point, right? He has great awareness to where he's able to anticipate. I think that being in a too high safety set would benefit him a lot more. Being single high, you have to like if you get two verticals, one on each side of the field, that it's so hard to decide who you're gonna go for. You know what I mean? But the ones that I seen, it seemed like he played it well. It seemed like he knew who the true deep threat was and where the quarterback was able to go. So with that type of processing, with that type of knowledge, he was able to make a play, right? Like I said, he attacks the ball. He's a great tackler. Now, like I said, he played single high, but he also played close to the line of scrimmage. Now, what I seen from when he played closer to the line of scrimmage is that he's a great run defender. He's like, free safeties. It's a little different nowadays, but free safeties weren't really known for tacklers. That was more so the strong safeties. You know what I mean? And free safeties were more cover guys, whereas strong safeties weren't. But it's a little bit different now. He's like a free safety that plays like a strong safety kind of man. Very good tackler, very good awareness in the run game, very good anticipation in the run game, right? He understands angles, he understands leverage, he understands where his help is at and where he has to maintain leverage. You know what I mean? There was a play where they could have ran it to the outside, but he had teammates there, so they stopped. And where a typical football player would have pursued no matter what, because oh, he's running, I gotta go get him, I gotta go get him. Michael Tapp stayed patient. He understood that he had to keep inside leverage, right? His teammates had outside leverage, and the ball runner ended up breaking it inside, and Michael Tapp was right there to make the play. So very good in the run game, very good instincts. He's just your typical free safety, man. I think that when it comes to playing football, especially on the defensive side, if you could tackle, if you have great instincts, play recognition, and if you have somewhat of football IQ, I think that's your foundation of a great player, right? And then everything else, you can fix with coaching, right? Technique, that's coaching, right? I'm not gonna, grill somebody because of technique, because that's coaching, right? And then not all technique is good. There's a lot of techniques that I do not like, right? And they're just not good, right? Technique is supposed to be efficient and effective, and some of them are just not. So when it comes to the foundational traits of what can build a great football player, Michael Taft has that, right? Play recognition, great tackler, great instincts, awareness, anticipation, all that, ball skills. So if you can get him, I have him as a top 100 type of player. If you can get him outside of the top 100, if you can get him with your third, fourth round pick, that'll be great. That that would be a steal, man. Just wanted to make this short and sweet. You know, highlight a couple prospects that I like, highlight a couple prospects that I feel could help the Raiders, or if you're not a Raider fan, they can help your team. You know what I mean? They're not just good players for the Raiders; they're good players, period, man. But that's gonna do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you were able to gain some perspective in some way, shape, or form. This is the Antisocial Raider. If you love football like I love football, man, go ahead and subscribe. If you like the content, then like the content. And if you got something you want to get off your chest, then drop a comment. Yay.